Welcome to Knife Thoughts. This video is going to be on several different Nice Guy Machine Company pry bars and really focusing in on these two, which are the two sleepers, one being Boris and the other being Doris. But before I get into the video, I want to say a huge thank you to my friend TJ. TJ sent me these pry bars, these tools to get to check out, has sent me several different Nice Guy Machine Company pry bars before to check out that I've done videos on. You can check those out up here. But I really appreciate it. It's something where, I have bought a few of these pry bars and different pry bars, but I just haven't gotten a chance to get a lot of them. And so being able to check them out and get a feel for them is something that's really valuable and enjoyable to me. So TJ loaned me these as well as a few other pry bars, but I'm going to focus on these here for this video. And these three are really very similar in that this is the ladyfinger thumb, the thumb version of the ladyfinger. So it's a larger version versus the pinky, which I've done videos on. And this has an inset clip here, as you can see, and then it has this rounded pry edge, and then, the cutout for your finger, and then kind of the thumb concentric circles on the back here. And so this turned into these. And so these Nice Guy Machine Company is calling the sleepers, as I understand it. But this larger version was called Boris, and then the smaller version was called Doris. And the big thing with these was that they are a little bit thinner, and so less expensive than if they, were the same thing, but in the normal thickness. So I'll show you the thickness difference here. You can see that the sleeper is definitely thinner. But then the other big thing with these is that the clip that comes on them is actually the Nice Guy Machine Company Chris Reeve clip. And so these clips will work on Chris Reeve knives. So if you have a Sebenza or an NGMCo, I believe either way, this will work on this knife. Now, with that said, I am going to be doing a video comparing this Nice Guy Machine Company clip and the standard clip that comes on Chris Reeve knives and the new MIM, or metal injection molding, I think is what that stands for, clip that Chris Reeve has come out with. But the clip from Chris Reeve is stuck in the mail, so unfortunately I can't do that yet. But the clip that comes on these fits on Chris Reeve knives, so you can upgrade your Chris Reeve knife. Now, I personally like the stock clip that comes on Chris Reeve knives, so I honestly just got the MIM clip to do a video to see, and compare them. I do like this, but it's something a lot of people really want, these Nice Guy Machine Company clips. They have a little bit of a higher end look, I would say, in that they are machined rather than bent, and a lot of people really like them. So you get the clip and the pry bar. So you could take the clip off and, use it. I believe you can also put the clip from a Sebenza onto this. So, you could switch them back and forth. And they aren't as expensive as you might imagine, considering that a Nice Guy Machine Company pry bar like this is already $150 to $200 to $250. So these were like $150. There was a little bit of a snafu with the shipping cost that when I was gonna buy one, made it like $180 or something like that. But they're around that price, basically, $150 to $170. And these clips are normally, I believe, like $50 to $60, so it brings this into a little closer to something like this. So this is my only Nice Guy Machine Company pry bar right now. This is what he called the Raw Dog. This was basically made to be as budget friendly as possible. This is the standard length, and this was $100, and I believe that it's the cheapest, like, full size type pry bar that Nice Guy Machine Company makes. But you can see there's a big difference in the finish and the amount of machining. It's just real simple machining, as well as, again, this has this integral clip, which in my opinion doesn't work very well, whereas this has tension to it, so it's going to work a lot better. So, you know, it's still an expensive pry bar for sure. Like, you know, it's something where I really do struggle to justify to myself buying these. In fact, I decided not to buy one of these after the shipping snafu. He did, you know, fix that, but I decided not to buy one. I kind of think maybe I should. I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, who knows? But I do think that they're going to do different versions of this, and I might get one. But I think I actually should have kept my ladyfinger pinky. I think that was really the one for me from Nice Guy Machine Company. But anyway, the other thing with these is that while the clip is the same, they are different sizes. And the idea here is for them to kind of coincide with the large Sebenza and the small Sebenza. Now, I don't have a small Sebenza to show you. I have been considering getting one, have held off so far, kind of trying to fight the good fight on that and not spend $500 basically on one knife. But you can see that this Boris, the larger of the two, is the same, really close to the same length as the large Sebenza. So, you know, that can give you a kind of a size comparison. Now, they are actually not just like scaled up and down. You know, the Archie from Nice Guy Machine Company said that they're not actually just like a scale models of each other. But one difference also is that this, I understand, can be used as a 1/4 inch bit driver, whereas this cannot. So you lose a little bit of functionality there. Now, I will say, I think that they're both pretty much just as comfortable in my hand. You know, my thumb is right at the edge of the Doris here, so that might matter. But really, a lot of times you're going to be using it like this anyway. This one, you know, my thumb doesn't go all the way to the edge, but it, you know, the ergonomics are very similar to me. I think the thinness really wouldn't be a problem for me, because when you're using these titanium pry bars, the truth is you can't really use them for super heavy duty use. Titanium is not super like hard. It will mar and get, you know, scrapes and stuff like that. It will bend. You can see that here on this one that I have carried and used. So, you know, you do have to be aware of that. And I think it means, like, for me, I don't think it being thinner is a huge deal. I don't think there's a big difference. I will say, though, that I think that the edge could be a little bit thinner on these. So I'll show you it in comparison to this. You can see that it's pretty similar, but I think a little thicker than the ladyfinger thumb. But I'll show it to you in comparison to two other pry bars that I have. Sorry for the shake there, but I said two other, but I'm going to show you several others. So first of all, on the kind of other end is this axial pinch. This is the newer version. If this had a clip, this would be an incredible EDC pry bar. I really wish that it did. I hope they make a version that does have a clip. But anyway, this is really almost too thin. You can see that it's like borderline sharp, and I think it could get you in trouble if you were trying to carry it through like TSA or something. I don't think it's going to hurt you, you know, unless you like really jam it onto yourself. But this is, you know, probably thinner than most people would want. Now, here is something that's definitely too thick. This is the Gerber Mullet, I believe. I was using this for a while and stopped, but it is too thick and, you know, just not what you want. This is the Ever-Ratchet, or I'm sorry, this is the Gear Infusion Ever-Ratchet clip. This, you can see, is similar in its thickness, but maybe slightly thinner, and a little bit like harder of an edge, if that makes any sense. So just at like a harder corner. I'm really liking this one, just got it. And then finally, here is a Teal Designs pen titanium pry bar, and you can see it's a little thinner. So I think that this is a really good kind of like middle spot. It's a little thicker on these than I I think is ideal for me. But that's one of those things, probably it's different for different people. And one thing I do like about these is that they have these rounded edges. So as compared to this, this also does kind of flare outward, like these flare outward, obviously. But because this Raw Dog has no rounding, it is uncomfortable in the pocket. Like it's not comfortable to carry, in my opinion. I think part of that is because of the integral clip, so it kind of turns it and jams it into your leg. But I do like that these have this rounding. I think it makes them a lot more comfortable to actually carry. So, I think a lot of these probably don't get carried, to be completely honest, but if you're going to carry them, you want it to be pretty comfortable. So I think these are pretty cool. I do, I'm going to keep an eye on the releases. I was actually on Nice Guy Machine Company's Patreon. I was a patron of them to see the releases, and then it seemed like you were getting the emails even if you weren't a patron. So I stopped being a patron, but I don't know, I might try to be again. Either way, I am going to continue to follow and check them out. But really the big surprise for me from getting to check out all of these, and this is 11 minutes into the video, but was this one. So this was the this is the SHIFT+F, I believe is what this is called. Here are the bags that these come in. So this is the bag for this particular tool, maybe, and SHIFT+F key. So yeah, anyway, it's like a little key, like literally the shape of a key. Struggling here. But I think this is the one that I really was surprised by and enjoyed the most of these. I can do that later, I suppose. Because it's just really easy to carry. I actually put this in my fifth pocket, my watch pocket, and it was really easy to carry. I didn't put it on my keys, but you certainly could do that, and it would be completely unobtrusive. I thought that this would jab into me, but it didn't at all. And it actually works for like a Phillips on some things. I used it. TJ said, use these, and I always hate to. I don't want to mess up somebody's stuff, but I did use this a little bit as a Phillips screwdriver, and it worked, fixing a toy for my son. But it's just kind of a cool little thing. I actually kind of consider that I might want to have one of these, but, again, you can only have so many pry bars, and there's only so much knife and EDC money in the budget, but I think this is really cool. I also do like this bead. These beads that Nice Guy Machine Company does that are square are pretty darn cool, I have to say. I've never even considered buying one, but I think it is pretty nice. So this SHIFT+F key is really cool. It's got a little bit of a pokey edge there in case you want to just jam it at something. I don't know how much it would do, being that it's like an inch long, but that is something that Nice Guy Machine Company talks about as these being, what do they say, adversarial eye pokers. So, you could do that with this, I guess. But I did really enjoy this one, and I think it's pretty cool. So, again, I want to say thank you to TJ for giving me the opportunity to check these out. It's just really fun to get to check out things that you wouldn't otherwise, and I really appreciate people who are willing to do that, to trust me. So thank you again, TJ. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and select all so you know when I post new videos. I do have like a good number of pry bar videos that I have planned to make. Make sure you check out my website, knifethoughts.com, and subscribe to the email newsletter there. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.